trend of Texas A&M quarterbacks being spready and kind of dual threat quarterbacks, to be honest. So he wasn't great, but he kind of started the trend for it. When Mike Sherman was there. Frank Coney actually was there, and then Mike Sherman took over. Ben Olsen didn't live up to the hype at UCLA. Thought he was going to be a really good player. BYU, UCLA, had a bunch of schools on his resume that wanted him. SC, but he went to UCLA, didn't live up to the hype. Marcus Vick, same thing at quarterback. Back to just get into the quarterbacks, honestly. And Trent Edwards is a guy that, he played good at Stanford. Was a first-round pick. He didn't live up to the hype there. His quarterback class had James Banks, who didn't really get to play too much. Devin Hester probably ended up being the best player from this class. We'll get into this class a little bit more next week, too, and we'll stick with it. Because I have my take, but I want to get Jim's take on it next week if we have time for that. Bob Brooks is a really good player from this class as well. Going down the list, Maurice Clarett is what could have been. If he didn't have all the field issues and the challenge in the NCAA, could have been, one of the better running backs to ever lace up for Ohio State. Could have won the Heisman Trophy if he had came back to school that next year. And who knows what happened after that in the NFL. Mercedes Lewis from Long Beach Poly, pretty solid player in the NFL. He's been the starter for, a long time, about 8 years now. He's a guy that's solid tight end. He never lived up to the hype per se because he was supposed to be kind of a Tony Gonzalez type of guy. He didn't live up to that, but he's still a really solid tight end. Lonnie Davis from Florida State, Justin Swift, Adrian Nicholson, Reba McKnight, we're going way, way, way back. Kyle Williams, the USC version, of course. Deshaun Wynn, who was at Florida. Eric Winston, who was a tight end back then. Now he's off tackle in the NFL. Darnell Bing from Long Beach Poly. This was Long Beach Poly's year they won the national title, as you could tell. Winston Justice was on that team as well. Just loaded. Long Beach Poly was ridiculous that year. Gavin Dickey ended up transferring out of Florida, but he was there. Kevin Wimley, Tomberly Hall, Herschel Dennis, another Long Beach Poly star from that year. They had so many players that were really impactful. It didn't work all the way, but mostly impactful in the high school and college. So Manny Wright is another Long Beach Poly player. They all went to SC together. Chase Pittman, who was at Evangelical Christian with John David Booty, is in this list as well. Monte Pitts from Auburn. And, I got to mention A.J. Davis, who was there too. Jonathan Wade from Tennessee. And Matt Gutierrez, Concord, California, De La Salle. And Davin Joseph. Davin Joseph is another really good player from class. And Kyle Williams, LSU. Kyle Williams, actually one of the most underrated players in the league. Davin Joseph, he's okay. He went to Hellendale High School, kind of having tradition there. But he's had a pretty solid NFL career. He's definitely a liability for the most part. But Matt Gutierrez actually didn't work out too well in Michigan. Ended up transferring to San Jose State, if I'm not mistaken. But Idaho State, too. Idaho State is where he finished his career at. Got drafted, picked up by the Patriots. Didn't really work out. But he was a really good quarterback coming out. Actually, thought a lot of people had him higher than 96. People have him in the top 50 for the most part. And that rounds out the top 100, though. This top 100 is not a very great class, to be honest, as you just heard. There's probably one Hall of Famer in the class, David Hester, and that's about it. No one even really close except for Nata. I guess they call him a good player, and so is Nata, but I don't think they're at the Hall of Fame level. I don't think they'll reach it, but the truth will come out soon enough with these players. They're getting towards the end of their career. They've got about 5 years left, probably at the most. Devin Hester probably less than that. Long wear and tear he had throughout his career. So that is the 2002 recruiting class. The last thing I'll leave you guys out with is who is the best high school team in college football? The way I would do the committee to do this the right way, if this is being realistic, is I would take the best team from the West, best team from the South, best team from the East, best team from the North, Try to match up a deal with Under Armour so they could play in Florida at the sports complex in Orlando or maybe in LA or Texas. Probably only got to go to those places to play a state championship, or excuse me, a national title. Hasn't played out. I don't think it would take much to get these 4 teams to do that. I think it would make a lot of revenue. I think that, Bishop Gorman, Colquitt, Allen, and maybe St. Edward played each other. That would be really, really fun to watch. I mean, who would want to watch something like that? So I wanted to happen. So I think it will. I'm not positive, but I want it to happen. So in the next 4 years, I really do think that could happen. It just sucks to see, there'd be no actual national title, only mythical. I just think it could be done, to be honest. And hopefully it will be. Bishop Gorman plays a lot of out-of-state games. IMG, of course, does too. IMG is going to play next year versus Grand Centennial on LA. On Orange County, so that's going to be fun. So they're kind of deciding it through the season, but we still need a top 4, I believe. 8 is a little bit too much for high school. 16 is outrageous. Anything after that is just ridiculous. So hopefully we'll get 4 teams in. But who's the best high school football team? That's the best way to find out. But right now, like I said, Bishop Gorman's number 1. As far as just teams go with rosters, IMG's probably 2, but their resume just doesn't add up. And I think Colquitt and Allen round up the top 4 for me, to be honest. And then like I said, Gatorade Player of the Year, I think it goes to Jacob Eason. It's a weird year. I feel like it could go to an underclassman. Could be Sean McGrew, man. If they had won that game, it definitely would have been Sean McGrew. Not sure now, but I think it would go to him. Or Biagio Ali Walsh would be another good player to put up there for Gatorade Player of the Year. Even though he's underclassman, he could possibly deserve it. Who's to say he's not the best player in the country? Tyler Vaughn is another good one, but he didn't win Gatorade State Player of the Year. Don't agree with the list 100%, to be honest. Pretty accurate. Miles Brennan should have won Mississippi State Player of the Year, in my opinion. Jordan Fuller won in New Jersey. Not sure if he should have won, to be honest. I think Rashawn Gary should have won. Can't just stat watch. Who's the best player in the state? I think it was Rashawn Gary all year. As far as other states go, I think they got it right for the most part. Louisiana could have been possibly changed. Brandon Peters definitely by far the best player in the state of Indiana. So, yeah, pretty good. Really happy for Kobe Reeder and Jake Fromm to win their 2 states. Delaware and Georgia, though. 2 players I got to kind of wait on, but they really came through and played really good all year. But this is about wraps up our show tonight. Sorry my voice is very raspy. The weather changes got killing me, to be honest. But this is the Don James High School Report on NGSC Sports. I'm Donovan James, your host. You can find me on Twitter at Don James Sports. You can find my work at rscnreport.com. Just any high school football, college football thing you need or NFL draft work, I'll be writing it, I'm sure. Rivals.com on the social media tip. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook there, posting, Instagram, post everything. And that's about it right now. That's all I'm writing for. As far as what I'm doing right now, I've got 2 more top 25 left, I guess. For the top team rankings, I've got a 150 left for rankings. I've got a little bracket we're going to play on Twitter, probably, or Facebook, or maybe both, about the top. I want to put the top 16 teams together and find out who you guys think is the top team in the country. So we're going to do that. It's going to be really fun. I'll put on another mock draft once this regular season's over for NFL. I'm going to do a write-up on the Heisman Trophy winner, who Deshaun Watson, Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey are the finalists. So one of those 3 great young players I'll be doing a write-up on as well. And we'll see what else I'm going to be doing. There's a lot to do out there. really dipping into 2017 class now and getting the ranking out for that. It's a really important thing, posting the ranking for that too. So that's something else I'll be doing as well. And until then, just stay tuned, and hope you guys have a great night out there. This is the Don James High School Football Report on NGSC.